Hi everyone, I'm Shelly Dressel, and I wanted to do a little mini channel here out on my back porch where you have all my trees around. I can hear the wind in the trees. It's September, and here in the South, it's slightly cooler, so I love it, especially in the mornings. It's just super cool and nice. Okay, I just have been feeling that the ULBs wanted to come in and chat with us. I'm thinking perhaps Albayon is coming in. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we're here at this time where there's so much going on. There's so much that we all know. It's like we know that this has happened, that this has been going on in the background, that these changes are taking place. But when is it going to become much more public knowledge, or when is the rest of the world going to come in? Which then led me to think about timelines. Are we still on these different timelines? And is unfortunately the mass majority on a timeline where all that corruption keeps going? So anyway, I just wanted him to come and chat about that for a little bit. Greetings. It is I, Albayon. I come to you because I've been literally having this conversation with Shelly in the background. And she has a friend of hers that they'll process and say, similar things to what I've been talking to her about. And I have several things I want to share with you today. The first of which is, this is intuition. When you have thoughts that go through your mind, when you have experiences that are happening in and around you, and you think, what brought that up? What made me think about that? That's your intuition. Everybody is opening to a much higher degree of their intuition than they have ever been before. Some of you that have never really paid any attention to it, start paying attention. Some of you that have always noticed, oh yeah, that was my intuition. Great bird right there, huh? And so this is an opportunity for you to begin to implement these changes that are made for you, changes that come along with a higher vibration, changes that come along with making choices in your life, changes that come along with just everything that it may be when it comes to the ascension process. So let's talk a minute about timelines. You've heard me say over and over again that the timelines are finally merged. And the way I see them, when I look, it's like, you know how when you see how some rope was made and you have all those little threads and they spiral together to make one solid rope? That's how I have seen the timeline. So the question comes into, well, then why aren't more and more people acknowledging what's been going on, or acknowledging what's happened, or acknowledging that this is what's going on in the world? And so that's a good question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get quiet for a minute here. And I am going to look specifically at the timelines, and I am going to look specifically at, I've said the last two channels, we're at the end game, meaning the end of all of the corruption and the falsehoods and the illusion that's been happening. The movie, as some people call it. So let me look at that and let me just see where we stand. Okay. There is only one timeline, but if you think of a timeline in terms of dimension or depth or diversity within it, it's still quite massive. So here's some food for thought. In the past, when people have like looked at timelines or tapped into timelines, it's been almost like it's this narrow perspective, or that it's just to kind of give you a visual, like this big, and within that depth of that, all of these different things that are happening. And because it's a smaller depth like that, more and more people are in alignment with one another, which is what made that term in alignment on a particular timeline. So here, yes, I do only see one timeline, but rather than it being like this, it's like this. So what that means is that you all are on the same timeline. You all are on that same pathway that is going to lead to the ascension process being complete, the world moving into the, what's that word? learning, moving into the next level of consciousness, and that is going to permeate the planet and every single level of it. However, because that one timeline is still that wide open, it leads to lots of different agendas, you could say, or lots of different experiences that people are having that cause people to still have that perception. Where are you versus where am I? And why are these so very different? That the more Okay, another way that I want to share this is, sorry, Shelly's a little bit more distracted out here than when she's in the house. But one of the things that I do want to share about that is that when everyone has been accustomed to particular timelines and you could jump from here to there or have these different experiences and then come back, it's as if each timeline was a specific experience or experiences that were very similar to one another. So now, because we have taken all of those and merged them together into one, and by we, I mean humanity. And I mean, the work of the universal beings have also helped with accomplishing this. So now that that's all taken place, you still are coming together to create the focus, the Aquarian age. That's the word I was looking for before. What I would invite each of you to consider is that more than ever, it's important for you to put forth your clear intention of what you would like to see for your reality. Looking at the what do they call it, the competition in November, as so many people are saying it, just because I know this is going to go on various places. So looking at that competition, we've always felt it's not going to happen. The closer that we get to it, the more that those energies around that focus are coming into being, the more that we're still seeing a diversity of realities. There are still so many people that don't understand what's been fraudulent and don't understand what's been happening. And so the thought process is, well, tell people. How can they understand if they haven't heard about it? Indeed, that is correct. So, that being said, I do anticipate that it is going to become much more common knowledge, the fraud of the last election, which will then in turn cause everyone to really look at the last 4 years with new eyes. All of you that are listening to this have already done this. You've already been there. I'm speaking about bringing it to the next level or bringing it to the next individuals. And that is something that will definitely help to bring that timeline into something that is more closely in alignment with each other. So my thoughts and ideas for you today is be very clear on what you want to live your life. Be very clear on how you see the world as functioning together with one another. Be very clear on what it is that you seek to manifest in this reality. Because in so many different ways, the things that are happening are pointing you towards that direction. However, you need to say, I accept it. I'm taking that. This is going to be my reality. And the most important part of that, band together as a group. And you can do this by simply, I choose the reality that is based in love. I choose the reality that is based in cohesive cooperation between everybody on the planet. And then send it out. Se- Send it out energetically to people, send it out through your clear intentions. And the more that it is out there as an energy, then it's working in everybody's unconsciousness. And most of these people that are in more of that unawakened state, they'll be picking it up from their unconsciousness, whether they know they will or not. They are absolutely going to be doing that. So this is how you can work with the energy when the energy is still in this limbo that it is. The thing to keep in mind, and I cannot say this any other way, is that the earth has ascended. The timeline has merged into this one. It is still a little bit wide, but it will get more fine tuned as time goes by. So be the anchor of the energy. Be the anchor of your truth and reality. Be present in your life and let that be come forth from you into everything that you do. Thank you, as always, for being a part of this group. Ansaluia.